Let's talk some Tennessee recruiting because the next 2 weeks is going to go really fast for Tennessee fans. There's a lot of commitments coming, and we're going to get all into it. I'm going to bring in Austin Price from VolQuest. But before we talk about future commitments, let's talk about Savian Haidder. The number one running back in America was in Knoxville last weekend. He's going to head into the dead period, kind of think about things. There is no decision date. So, Austin, where do you think Tennessee stands right now?
I think Tennessee, it's still a two-team race, Josh. I think it's Tennessee, it's Michigan. Everybody else is, to me, way behind, and those are the two teams that have separated. I think it's really close. I think, the question is, for me, is when does he announce? When does he decide? Because there's a notion out there that he's going to wait until September, watch the teams play a couple of games, go from there. And if that's the case, I mean, you remember what it was like with David Sanders last year when he went to like August 18th or whatever, like add a month to that. I mean, because most everybody else is going to be off the board. And so like you're going to have just a handful of kids that aren't committed out there. And he'll be a primo 5-star that won't be committed if that is the case. So the question is when does he do it? And then kind of, when he sits down with his mom and everybody and works towards a decision, like, how does this thing bear out? But I still think it's a two-team race, two at the top, splitting hairs between the two.
All right. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that one, waiting on a decision date to kind of see when the real battle lines are drawn. And this one's actually coming down to the wire. But yeah, I agree. It feels like a two-team race right now. So let's talk about who could be the next commit. I got my eyes on a pair of athletes, Joel Wyatt and Legend Bay. Do you agree? Do you think that one of these two could be the next commit for Tennessee?
I think there's probably a few guys that haven't announced dates yet that could end up going before those kids. But Legend Bay is coming up on Saturday. He's going to announce the 28th, and that's a Tennessee-Texas A&M battle. Tennessee had the momentum. He went to Texas A&M last weekend. They're certainly continuing to swing. Probably too close to call at this point for Legend Bay, as I think that different times over the last 14 days, both teams have been the team to beat, and I think it probably changes by the hour. But it's really close. He likes Tennessee a lot, really likes Faison Brandon. Those two visited at the same time on the same weekend. And then Joel Wyatt is going to announce July 6th. So you're going to have, a handful of guys that commit to Tennessee before Joel Wyatt does on July 6th or before he commits. I don't know where he's going to commit to. Again, the question for me is where does he want to play? I'm not sure he wants to play Leo. Tennessee is recruiting him as a Leo. When he went up to the Rivals 5-star challenge in Indianapolis, Josh, he worked out a receiver and as a defensive back. And so the question is this Tennessee willing to bend and give him a shot to play, let's say, safety? If they are, then I think Tennessee's in excellent shape there. If they're not, and it's only Leo, then I don't know. I think the waters get a little bit more muddied for Joel Wyatt. The question is does he really want to go to Vanderbilt and be the only guy in that class since Caden Harris flipped to Georgia? Or does he postpone the July 6th announcement and announce something later? I don't know. I think to be determined on that one.
All right. Let's talk about Hezekiah Harris, potential flip target for Tennessee. He's currently committed to Auburn, but Auburn has been bleeding commitments left and right here over the last 7 days. What's that?
What is going on down there?
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, is Harris a major flip target? Is it imminent? Is it something that Tennessee's going to have to continue to work for?
He is a major flip target. He's been up here countless times. He and Coach Chop have a tremendous relationship with one another. His brother goes to Auburn. Obviously, that's something that Auburn is using to their advantage. They took him last year as a transfer, I think, from Austin Peay. How does the brother impact Auburn this fall? Does he play? I think all those things are something worth watching. I'm not sure Hezekiah Harris does anything anytime soon. I think he's going to take more visits this fall, not just to Tennessee. Florida's another school that's in play. But absolutely, he is one that Coach Chop has been working to flip for months. He continues to come back up here because of his relationship with Coach Chop and the staff. And so they are a major player here. The question is can they get that one done?
All right. A lot of moving parts with Tennessee recruiting right now. Go to VolQuest. They got it all covered, in-depth, thorough. One more name, though, we got to hit on, and that's 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys, the #1 wide receiver in America. Looked like he was having a really good time on that official visit. We know Tristan Keys committed to LSU, saying all the right things, but we know this recruitment's not over. Where do you think Tennessee stands right now? What do they need to do to ultimately flip? Inside Scoop listeners, I got to tell you about a company that makes this show possible. It's Rhoback Activewear. The only way to describe Rhoback is best fit, best feel. And for those who are not familiar with Rhoback, they are completely changing the game with their incredibly comfortable activewear. Rhoback has released so many items within their new licensed game day collection, and it's our favorite. With novel polo designs, clean hoodie, and quarter zip designs from some of your favorite schools, it's definitely worth checking out. Nobody else in the market is pairing these level of custom designs with this quality of activewear. Rhoback's everyday shorts or their Delta Performance pants are the perfect pairing as well. They are both super comfortable. They have an elastic waistband and a great fabric that is made to have the appearance of a nice short look, but the comfort for everyday movement. Rhoback also has been proudly leading the NIL charge, having signed partnerships with multiple college football stars, past and present, and are becoming the go-to brand for college athletes across the country. So use code JOSH on Rhoback.com for a generous 20% off all new custom orders through the end of this week. Let's spell it out for you. RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with promo code JOSH.
I think they're a major player here. I think LSU, got him back on campus last weekend, did the best they could. Does he decommit? I continue to hear chatter that could happen. We'll see. Ultimately, Tristan Keys, I think, no matter what he does, whether he sticks with LSU for now or goes ahead and pulls the trigger and decommits, I'm not sure he commits anywhere right away. When he does, I think he's going to take visits this fall, and this thing will drag into the football season. So I don't see a commitment being imminent as far as a flip, but I can see a decommitment potentially over the next month, based off of, again, continued chatter out there. LSU's working to hold on to him. They're pulling at the heartstrings, all those type of things. And so we'll see where things go. But right now, either way, I think this one has many twists and turns between now and December.
I think Tennessee recruiting in general has many twists and turns. So Tennessee fans, talk to us. How you guys feel, and who do you think the next commit will be? Will it be one of the athletes I mentioned or somebody else? Let us know. Comment section below.